Welcome back once again, all of my low carb friends, and for those of you who are here for the first time, welcome. Today we have another easy, simple keto dessert recipe. Today we are going to make keto coconut flour brownies with an extra quick keto coffee frosting. Now these brownies, they taste great with or without frosting, and this coffee frosting can be used anytime you need a frosting for your recipe. So if you want printable versions of these, you can check out my website at janetsdeliciousLowCarbKitchen.com. You can find printable versions of these and other goodies there for you. And if you're new to the channel and you want to see lots of easy, delicious keto recipes, make sure you click that subscribe button and click the notification bell that's right next to the subscribe button. That way you can be notified every time I put out videos every Wednesday and Saturday. And if you'd like to help support the channel, make sure you scroll down in the description of the video. You'll see some Amazon affiliate links. Anytime you purchase anything using those Amazon affiliate links, a small portion of your purchase will go to me and will help to support the channel. You'll also see a link to Java Coffee. Anytime you purchase any Java Coffee using that affiliate link, a small portion of your purchase will also go to me and will help support the channel. And while you do all that, let's get cooking. Preheat your oven to 375 degrees. Line an 8 by 8 inch cake pan with parchment paper. Allow the paper to overhang on the sides just a little bit. This will make it easier to lift out the brownies once they're baked. In a large mixer bowl, combine a half cup of coconut flour, a 1/4 cup of cocoa powder, 3/4 cup of the granulated sweetener of your choice. I'm using granulated monk fruit sweetener. You can use whatever granulated sweetener you want. You can also adjust this more or less according to how sweet you want your brownies. Add a 1/4 teaspoon of xanthan gum and 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Sift or whisk these all together until they are fully combined and there are no lumps in the dry ingredients. Add 3 large room temperature eggs. Make sure they are room temperature so they beat in more smoothly. Beat on low for about 10 seconds or just until the eggs start incorporating with the dry ingredients. Then increase your speed to medium-low and beat on medium-low for about 30 seconds or until all the dry ingredients have been moistened by the eggs. You can also mix this by hand if you prefer to mix by hand instead of using a mixer. As I've said before, I have issues with my shoulders, so I use my mixer for just about everything, but it's just as easily mixed by hand if you prefer that. Scrape down the sides of the bowl if you need to. Add a half cup of room temperature butter that is slightly softened. Beat on low for another 10 seconds or just until the butter starts incorporating with the ingredients. Then increase your speed to medium and beat on medium for about another 30 seconds or until everything is fully combined. Scrape down the sides of the bowl once again. Add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and a 1/4 cup of room temperature brewed coffee. Now this is not going to make your brownies have a strong coffee taste. This just pretty much more or less enhances the chocolate flavor a little bit in your brownies. If you don't want your chocolate flavored enhanced, you can just use a 1/4 cup water instead of the brewed coffee. So that's up to you as to how strong you want your chocolate to taste. Beat on low once again for another 10 seconds or until the coffee starts mixing in with the other ingredients. Then again, increase your speed to medium and beat on medium for another 30 seconds or until everything is fully combined and you have a smooth, creamy batter. Scrape down the sides of the bowl once again and push all the batter to the center of the bowl. Allow the batter to sit about 5 minutes. This is so the batter can absorb any extra moisture and the xanthan gum can start doing its binding power. After 5 minutes, scoop the batter into your prepared cake pan. Then use a spatula, a wooden spoon, or your fingers and spread the batter evenly throughout the cake pan. Make sure it's as even as you can get it with a smooth top. Place the pan in your preheated oven and bake at 375 degrees for about 25 to 28 minutes or until a tester comes out clean. For me, 25 minutes was perfect. As I always say, everyone's oven is different, so 25 to 28 minutes. Once it's done baking, remove it from the oven. It will still be soft, but it will firm up as it cools. Allow it to cool in the pan for at least 1 hour or until it's pretty close to room temperature and firm enough to remove from the pan. After 1 hour and the brownies are firm, grasp the parchment paper handles and gently lift the brownies out of the pan and transfer them to a wire rack and allow them to cool completely before frosting them. Make sure they are cooled completely before frosting them. If you try to frost them when they're warm, you run the risk of crumbling your brownies. For the coffee frosting, in a large mixer bowl, place 6 tablespoons of room temperature butter that is softened. Make sure it is very soft or it will not beat in well with the other ingredients. You don't want it melted, but you want it very soft. Beat the butter on medium speed for anywhere from 45 seconds to 1 minute or until it is smooth and creamy. Scrape down the sides of the bowl and push the butter to the center of the bowl. Add a half teaspoon of very finely ground coffee grounds. You can use fresh coffee grounds or you can use instant. I use fresh, but if all you have is instant coffee grounds, that works just fine. You can also use more or less depending on how much of a coffee taste you want in your frosting. Beat on low just for about 20 seconds or so, just enough to evenly distribute the grounds throughout the butter. Scrape down the sides of the bowl once again. Add 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Turn your mixer on to medium-low and gradually add 1 3/4 cup of powdered sweetener of your choice. I'm using powdered monk fruit allulose blend because it has the finest texture, so you get the smoothest frosting. It also does not have any aftertaste, but you can use any powdered sweetener you'd like. Make sure you add this gradually. You do not want to add this all at once. If you add it all at once, you run the risk of it clumping up and you not having a smooth frosting. Once the powdered sweetener is all added and mixed in all together, scrape down the sides of the bowl and push everything to the center of the bowl. Then turn your mixer onto low and add anywhere from 1 tablespoon to 1½ tablespoons of room temperature brewed coffee. I use 1½ tablespoons, but it all depends on how thick you want your frosting. If you want it thicker, then you can just do 1 tablespoon. If you want it thinner, you can do up to 2 tablespoons. Just be careful not to thin it out too much. Once you've added the coffee, increase your speed to medium and beat on medium for about 1 minute or until everything is fully combined and you have a creamy frosting. Then check on your brownies and make sure they are completely cooled. Once they are completely cooled, spread the desired amount of frosting evenly onto your brownies. I use all of the frosting, but if you don't like that much frosting, you can always use less and save the rest for another time and store any leftover frosting in the refrigerator for up to 1 week if you don't use all the frosting. Once your brownies are all frosted, cut your desired piece, place it on a serving platter. You can eat it immediately, or you can store any leftovers in an airtight container in your refrigerator for up to 1 week. Now, you don't have to frost the brownies if you don't want to. You can leave them just as they are. They taste great even without frosting. So if you do decide you do not want to frost them, you can store them in an airtight container at room temperature for up to 1 week. But if you do have the frosting on it, you definitely have to store it in the refrigerator because you run the risk of the frosting melting if you don't have it in the refrigerator. Eat and enjoy. And those are our recipes of the day. I hope you enjoyed them both. If you did and you want to see more videos like this, make sure you click that thumbs up like button, click that subscribe button, leave me a comment if you want to. Let me know if there's any recipes that you'd like to learn how to make, and I'll do what I can to get those out there for you. And as always, keep cooking.